The Minister of Public Works, Sihle Zikalala, was questioned about the recovery of millions of rands spent on the construction of Beitbridge Border fence. The fence was procured in 2020 as part of interventions to fight the spread of COVID-19. However, MPs who went to inspect its construction described it as not fit for purpose and labelled it as a wasteful expenditure and called for consequences for those involved. Zikalala says the former Director General is no longer with the department. However, if criminal liability is found on his part, the law will take its course. He says the disciplinary processes of other officials is still ongoing, while those in the National Bid Adjudication Committee were found guilty.
All the charge members were found guilty, and sanctions of final warning, written warning, and suspension without pay have been imposed by the chair of the disciplinary process. Suspension without pay sanction were served during the period of November 2022 to January of this year.
In another development, the Ministry of Communications was criticized for failing to meet its deadline for analogue switch off 15 years later.
But these efforts have been hampered by a number of things. One, which is litigation. In actual fact, even now when we were supposed to have switched off last year, we got to receive another litigation which ended up being adjudicated by the Constitutional Court, where the Constitutional Court gave some directives to government for which we are complying with all those directives. So the delay has largely been frustrated through litigation by some of the broadcasters in the sector.
Mapulane also said the government is committed to rescue the South African Post Office from being liquidated. He says the Post Office has been battling to keep business afloat for about 17 years. He added that there are proposals in place to address the historic debt of television licenses as part of stabilizing cash flow at the SABC.
Therefore, a business decision has been taken to outsource TV license operations to a supplier that has a required updated technology and infrastructure that will enable improved customer service and revenue collection until a funding model has been established.
The Deputy Minister says the date for the analogue switch off will be announced soon. Lula Mamatya, SABC News, Parliament.